It's time! It's time! It's definitely time for a titillating podcast. Let's get ready for League of Reyes. Proudly to present to you this spendiferous podcast, this titillating topics of the night. I am Techno Joe, and standing through the web pages, standing on the freaking internet, my hetero life mate, Orange Attica. Well, hello, my friend.
That was the greatest entrance everyone's ever given me. I'm honored. I'm honored. Can I get a can I get a velvet coat with that, like a James Brown used to do after he's done? Just throw it on me. I feel good.
Hercules, Oh man,
what's going on, brother? How you been, man?
exhausted, tired, but that's the usual. That's typical. But it's more so I've barely been getting any sleep, but that's just the craziness of work, excitement of freaking certain work topics, certain building up the streams, whether it's our podcast stream, our social media standpoints, or just our individual freaking gaming variety streams. But enough about me. How you been? Where have you been hiding?
Under a rock, apparently. I mean,
Oh
it's
man,
been like 2 weeks since I've seen you. Shit, man.
too long, man. Too long.
And just here, bro. Just here, dealing with life, dealing with nonsense. But getting through it, because you know what? That's what we do. We get through it. We get through it, man.
What? Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Oh man. But yeah, so
Oh my god.
started on anything. I know a lot of people seen on our social media that we had to postpone last week. Unfortunately, one of my jobs got in the way. I shouldn't say get in the way, but it was a learning point, a learning
Opportunity.
yeah, I guess learning opportunity for my night job and everything that I couldn't just let go. I couldn't just drop it because I work on a separate schedule from the rest of the team that I work with. So it was something that unfortunately we had to postpone this week's, I should say last week's, which is now this week's freaking podcast. And yeah, so we're back. Hopefully nothing else gets in the way, but sometimes life happens. It happens. You can't get too mad as long as the community continues to freaking one shoot shit. We always got something to talk about.
Yep.
Goof on each other's because why the hell not?
Exactly.
But three, this week, and why I was saying in the beginning, a titillating or intriguing topics. Arranger, go ahead and let the people know if they can't see the title, what we're talking about today.
Drum roll, please.
All
All right, guys. Today we're gonna talk about machismo. It's gonna be our very first topic, and then we're gonna touch base on this. In my opinion, this game-changing technology that's sweeping the tech world, Chat GPT. Technology itself, I've already toyed with it myself, so I'm actually excited to show you guys how it works. All right, brother. So let's get into it. So,
but the machismo, are we talking about the macho man machismo? Or
That's a different type of machismo.
are we talking about Jay Lethal, freaking the black machismo? Ooh, yeah. Or are we talking about that type of machismo that gets you arrested for stupidity, or you should get arrested for the stupidity on slapping someone because you're too sensitive to take a joke?
Unfortunately, we gotta talk about the last one, but I'm all for touching base on the first two.
I know, right?
Listen, you can never get enough. To, you exactly. Come on now. Come on now. Gotta jump off the top rope and drop that elbow, bro. Come on now. Come on.
Ooh, yeah.
All right, man. So let's get into it. So, for those of you that don't know what machismo is, it's like Joe said. It's when you want. It's let's just say this: when your pride gets in the way of a good time. It's when your ego stops you from having a good time, or as I like to call it, the buzzkill or the party, or Mister
You asshole.
or the what was I used to say? What is it? Butt part? What was it?
The butthurt Susies.
The butthurt Susie.
The butthurt Susies are the freaking male persuasion.
What the fuck did I do wrong?
Yeah.
Oh. All right, let's get into it, guys. I can't with you.
I couldn't help it, man. I couldn't help it. Come on, man. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, man.
All right, guys. So,
how should we start this? Because this machismo as in Latinx community, and I have to be proper in these days on saying Latinx because a lot of people get a little too sensitive when you say Latino, even though Latino is supposed to be in a whole, but because it's too masculine for today's generation, you have to say in the Latinx community.
well, it's not that it's too masculine. It's just everyone now wants to change their. No, let me finish. Hold on, let me finish. It's. Okay. Maybe it's too masculine for some people, but you know, everybody. Listen. You have people that are gender neutral. People that that they want to identify as, their pronouns are different. I respect it. It's fine. Be whoever, whatever makes you happy. Sorry, I got thirsty. By all means, I got no problem with it.
Cheers, getting thirst.
Hey, I like it. Hey. So us being of Latin descent, that was around us 24/7, 365, 12 months out of the year. Being raised that way, in this new generation is it's not. I wouldn't say it's not. It's an easy transition for us because we were just raised with it. We became accustomed to it. But the side effects from that are the downside to it. There are pros to it because you know what, as a man, you handle your business. Hey, listen, as a man, you gotta. We're walking this earth trying to figure things out as we go. Now, some of us are lucky that we have both parents involved. Some of us are not lucky, where there's only one parent that's trying to do two jobs. And shout out to those parents because without them, none of us will be here. Yes. But yeah, man. So the whole thing of machismo is just walking around with your chest pumped, walking with that peacock strut, or rather, is it pigeon? Is it a pigeon or is it a peacock? I call it peacock.
Pigeon, because remember the pigeons have not the pigeons. I mean the peacock has a
they got the
crazy, feathery looking stuff.
yeah.
And if you don't know, you're about to find out. that the male peacock is the one with the freaking colorful feathers, unlike the female with her freaking raggedy ass, non freaking hairstyling, non braiding, her non colored ass freaking feathers that look all.
Yeah, so there you go. Lesson learned. Um, you just learned something new. Yeah, so us growing up, we were raised to, we were raised based off of the last generation. What was it? I always forget the generation. I always get all these generations confused. Baby boomers, right? Baby boomers.
Yeah.
I guess that's where our parents from. Yeah, we were raised off of these baby boomers, and back then it was all about, being a macho, walk around with a certain strut, certain swag,
I'm a macho
Yeah,
man.
the tighter the high waters, the better you were. The better those the boot cuts were, the better you were. Type. Um, so because of that, that type of behavior, that type of, I wouldn't say animosity, but it's the mentality that they had. It kind of trickled down to the next generation. And because of that, nowadays some people don't know how to deal with it, only because of the fact that generation was, they're all about shutting down, putting your emotions into the back burner, and handling business. You know, the most important thing for them getting getting paid, making sure that all the bills are paid, and basically being the head of the household. Um, thankfully, times change. There was equality. There's a thing called equality that came along and changed the game. Thank God. Um, but the aftermath of that is, now there's a stigma of, either men need to be a certain type of way to men need to be a certain type of way in order to get things done. If you don't act this type of way to your partner, either you get the boot or you either you get the boot or you get the boot. Like there's no other way. So the recall of that is, some of us, because of that mentality, we just didn't know how to express ourselves. We didn't know how to open up and talk to some people. We didn't know how to express our emotions. Um, and it's a topic now that people are, they're starting to come out of their shells, and they're starting to look for the help that they need. Thankfully, but not everyone is. Um, excuse me. The It's kind of sad, but at the same time, it's not. For those that are actually going out and getting help, I applaud you, because it takes a lot. It takes a lot. First off, it takes a lot to take a step back, reevaluate yourself, and say, "Hey, I need the help." So for those of you that are doing it, keep doing it. Either if you're doing it by yourself, keep going. Trust me. At the end of the day, it's you have to take care of yourself so that way you can take care of everyone else. Um, but for those that are still in the dark and want to kind of play that role, it's gonna be a tough uphill battle for you, man. It's gonna be a tough uphill battle, and it's funny because I've had this conversation many a times with family members. I had this conversation with my own girl, and they say it's all right to show emotion. It's all right to it's all right to cry every once in a while as a man. But as a man, we're not programmed like that. Especially us. We were raised at a time where it was like, make sure everything gets done, and you can basically pour your emotions into a bottle or something. That in itself is a whole other story, which leads to whole other things. Um, but going back to what we are talking about, machismo is just literally walking around with with your chest pumping, thinking that you are the man, but because you constantly think that you're the man, you constantly have this certain mindset that plays in your head. either people are always out to get you, people always want what you want, people are always coming for you. Excuse me. Um, it's. I mean, hey, I'm one of them. I'll admit, I'm one of them. I used to be, well, still am kind of. I myself, I tend to have anger issues, and I have a little temper. But I'm not ashamed to admit, I go get help now. I go get help only because I saw what it was doing to me. It turned me into a person that I didn't like, and yeah, yeah. Behind this big old fluff of funny is an angry monkey. It's an angry little panda. But that's what I'm saying. Oh, by the way, Joe never knew about this. Joe does not know about this. But
See the reason why he says that because we're always goofing around, and I've been in the same scenario, same freaking lifestyle. Um, grew up kind of the same way, and I went straight into the military, fucking freaking continuing that toxicity of a lifestyle. And the greatest thing that had happened to me was moving out to Hawaii for for certain reasons that we could talk about later or we could express in a little bit. But the biggest thing is throughout that time, you already heard that Arranger was uh, had anger issues. So with those anger issues, you don't you have the anger issues, but you can't deal with those anger issues like how society would want you to deal with them. You can't deal with those anger issues or anything like that properly. And that's what we're trying to get at is we weren't grown up or we weren't brought up to deal with emotions a proper way, which at a certain point in our lives it became too toxic for our lifestyle, for our life, for our significant others. And that's the whole point. You can we could branch this to everywhere you go. Sports, freaking uh toxic freaking work environment. Even freaking depending on your circle of friends, you have certain people that are toxic to your lifestyle. And the reason why I said thank God that moving to Hawaii helped me because even though in certain parts of Hawaii, just like everywhere else, there's always those, and I would say ghettos, because mainly in the ghetto is a lot of that machismo, that freaking toxic masculinity. Everyone has a chip. Certain people have chips on their shoulders around there. To freaking, they don't want to be bothered. They don't want to be looked down upon. Things like that. So you always got to freaking be on the lookout to freaking uh, dust someone in the mouth if they talk certain way or if they looked at you a certain way. And that's unfortunately that's how we grew up, where our environment, our social environment, and our community was like that, as well as our family members. Certain family members, freaking, even though you'll get taught how to be disciplined, how to have some kind of discipline and respect to your elders and to certain family members. And then if you cross over the line, you get freaking slapped up a bit. But at the same time, when it comes to dealing with emotions, whether it's like we said, anger issues, grieving over freaking family, or even having struggles just in everyday life, i.e., like, oh, damn, I lost my job, or oh, damn, I spent all this money on one thing and I don't have enough money to freaking pay a certain bill, things like that. So you're doing a lot of the hustle, which a lot of people are getting more into, like, oh, I need to hustle, I need to make that money, 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 money. and that really expands or branches off from that toxic masculinity because they've seen their families like, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be freaking struggling for so long just for that simple thing. I want to live comfortably. But how are you going to live comfortably if you're living into an expectation that is outside your reach, or two is too high profile for you? That's the biggest freaking thing. Like, luckily, like I said, I lived in Hawaii. Hawaii has a lifestyle of living with the aloha spirit, uh, not having a having a care in the world, but not letting things get under your skin. And that was the biggest like life changing point, for the simple fact that even though you have a concrete jungle on a small island, around that concrete jungle is freaking beautiful beaches, obviously beautiful women, freaking some good looking men, because damn, I was a little jealous from their freaking six pack and they were able to freaking swim and freaking surf. And that was also probably another thing that I wanted to freaking surf or learn how to surf. Um, Still didn't succeed, but I learned. But then you got all that freaking beautiful environment around you that, why are you gonna stay mad all the time? Why are you gonna be so butthurt about someone cracking a joke on you, or cracking a joke on either a significant other, a family, a friend? It's like, why are you taking that so head on? And a lot of the times, and I say this to a lot of people now, including my family, and including friends, and even my significant other, when they get butthurt, it's like, do you need me to go to like a pharmacy? You need some Vagisil so you can like wipe all, like, use a good generate lube of all that sand out of your vagina? Just because they get butthurt for certain things that they don't need to get butthurt. And part of that toxic masculinity, or just toxic lifestyle, you're getting mad for things that, one, is out of your control, two, you're staying mad that is stressing you out, stressing your freaking mentality and your way of life. Like, why take that head on? Why freaking go so goddamn freaking strong headed on things that you can't control? Control what you're able to. Don't worry about other people and what they think. Just do you. Like, you hear it a lot of times, and people are using it nowadays. Freaking do you, boo boo. Do you. You know what I mean? But it's a generation difference between what it was and how it is now, and seeing the difference on not evolving with the times, not evolving with what. And I've been in going to improve yourself, going to improve your, how should I say, your way of living, your freaking way of thinking. Like, if you keep thinking toxicity, you keep thinking, oh, I need to be better at this from this person. Oh, I need to freaking, I can't let this person freaking talk down to me. Blah 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 blah. Hey, you're gonna have more legal problems, more freaking stress in your life, less money, and that's gonna be even more stress on your life.
That's a
And
good one.
you're just gonna have the stupidity of publicity, or having a toxic moment. Let's take, for instance, lo and behold, who had a toxic moment? Drum roll, freaking Will Smith, and freaking getting all butthurt, slapping the hell out of damn Chris Rock, because Chris Rock had said a simple joke of Jada Pinkett Smith having barely no hair, even though she had a little crew cut, whatever, got a little buzz cut. But because he made a joke about her being in G.I. Jane 2, lo and behold, oh, don't talk about my wife like that, blah, 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 as if he was trying to disrespect her on stage. Like, You even heard the crowd like, ooh. Doesn't mean he was gonna keep going on the damn joke, but toxicity freaking ruled his ugly head, and lo and behold, slap to Chris Rock. And guess what? Publicity. Even though it's
Yep.
bad publicity, it was still out there. It's still being talked today because guess what? I'm bringing it up.
You gotta remember though. You gotta remember.
My wife's name out your fucking mouth.
Hey, listen.
Um,
No, but in all seriousness, I mean, if we take that situation right there, right, as first off, that entire situation was crazy. I mean, forever, people are going to be using the word entanglement from now on.
mhm. Yeah,
But
we still don't know if they're even out of an entanglement.
yeah, it's true.
The way he
Um,
acting. So.
exactly. Um, think just looking back at that whole toxic environment that they were in, it just in it, that in itself. First off, the simple fact. I mean, first off, listen. However you want to handle your marriage is how you want to handle your marriage. But the reality is that if you let other people into your personal life, that's when shit starts hitting the fan. If you guys were happy doing that, by all means, go ahead and do you, I do me, whatever, blah, 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 it's fine. But the minute other people start coming into your life, that's when shit starts to hit the fan. Um, that's one thing that I took to heart when I was younger is that listen, your personal affairs, you keep them to yourself. You keep, if you need to, you let certain family members in if they want to, but even then, family can screw you over. But
Not all the time. His blood thicker than water.
right,
Not all
so
the time.
exactly, so that entire situation was just a huge toxic mess. But that night alone, right, as a man, we once we put a ring on that, once we put a ring on that finger, we're elevated to a whole other level.
Oh, 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 oh.
we're,
You just got my brain. It happens.
I can't.
Hey, don't say anything, Jack, because guess what? I was not diagnosed with ADHD, so I don't give a damn. You're here to listen, but we
True.
also want to hear what the hell you got to say
So
too, because we can't just keep talking the whole damn time.
it's true. Um, but yeah, that whole situation itself. That night particularly, everybody knows comedians. They're gonna crack on you no matter what. Especially if you're good friends with them, you're gonna be their number one target to go after. Only because you know what, they're like, hey, we're boys. They're not gonna take my stuff to heart. Whatever. Once you get in a marriage as men, yeah, you get elevated to a whole other level because now not only you've gone from being a boyfriend who's a possible husband to, oh no, this is my husband. Now you got to be the protector, the provider, well, partial provider. Um, and a lot of things fall on your shoulders. But the truth is that half of the things, and I learned this the hard way. Half of the things that men go through, women don't know of. It might be right in their face, and they themselves could be going through their own things. But the reality is that because there's no communication, that's how 99% of divorces happen. There's no communication. Everybody just assumes something, and then shit hits the fan when we're not understanding each other. So that night, as a man,
Emotional damage.
so so that night, that night in itself, you saw it come to fruition. Like whatever was going on between them, it came out to light. It was in the media. It was dragged through all types of freaking publications. They were the center. They were the talk of the town for a while. Chris Rock being Chris Rock, he just made a little joke because him and Will boys. You figure, hey, that's my boy. I'm gonna make light of the situation, whatever. Um, I guess whatever happened, but I don't know what happened behind closed doors. I don't want to speculate, whatever. But that was a perfect example of machismo going to a whole other level. Like something like that, you could have just laughed it off. You kept your composure, laughed it off, and then afterwards put Chris to the side and be like, "Hey, bro, listen, what's going on right now? That wasn't cool." You know, or you talk to your wife, or you could have he could have talked to his wife and been like, listen, I know that bothered you, but you know, let's go talk to Chris, talk to him about this, bam, bam, bam. Let's talk about this more at home. Bam, that's it. The truth is, all of us are going through something. All of us. Male, female, dogs, babies, we all go through it. Babies gotta sit in their shit until somebody changes them. Dogs gotta sit and get fed.
There's one sound that no one knows. What the fuck say?
Everyone's going through stuff.
Right.
Uh,
So it's okay. So what I'm saying, what I'm trying to get at is, it's okay. It's okay to go to someone and say, "Hey, I need to talk to. I need to talk to you about something," or "Hey, I'm going through this. I don't know how to handle it." Or it's okay to say, "Hey, I'm gonna go see a therapist because I got some things I got to work through and I don't know how to get through." You know, um, that whole machismo 1950 whatever nonsense, that crap doesn't fly no more. Like we got kids younger than us, you know, taking some of this stuff to heart, and the end result is not it's not something that we all want to see. We got people our age that are dealing with their own demons, and they don't know who to go to. They don't know who to turn to, because they're in a circle in themselves. They all got that machismo nonsense going on, that if they try to open up, they're gonna call them a bitch or a pussy. And the last thing I ever want to see is somebody go through something and then something like that happens, like something, the worst thing could happen, and it's all because they couldn't talk. It's all because they had no one to talk to. Like at the end of the day, understand that there's always someone to go to, no matter who it is. If you got to do it behind somebody's back, by all means, hell, listen, Charlemagne himself, Charlemagne from the Breakfast Club. I mean, if any of you guys listen to the Breakfast Club, I used to listen to him all the time. I just don't have time to listen to him now. He is notorious for admitting that, yeah, I had some issues. I went through, I was going through a lot, and he goes to therapy now on I don't know how much on the basis. Um, but but at the end, we just need to understand that as men, it's okay to talk. As men, we don't have to bury our emotions. Granted, listen, you don't have to talk right away. It's fine. Go to the gym, find positive outlets. You know, go to the gym where you can work on your career, work on a new skill, whatever. We all went through our own journeys. But it's okay to go to someone and say, "Hey, I need help. Can you help?" Or it's okay to look for yourself. Like, "Hey, I need help. What can I do?" Sometimes it's just a matter of just going into a room, letting out a loud yell, and walking out, and then you feel like a brand new person. You know, but in this day and age, we're losing too many good people. The stigma of that old baby boomer mentality has got to go. Um, I mean, hell, my father is a victim to it. Until this day, that man does not change. That man will not change. Um, but I learned from that, and I myself am getting the help that's needed. You know, um, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, man, it's we're all trying to figure shit out. We're all trying to figure things out. Listen, at the age of 18, we got kicked. We got kicked. We all got kicked in the nuts or the boobs or whatever the hell you want to go. The ass, or rather. Right, let's go with that. Let's go with that. Let's go neutral. We all got kicked in the ass and said, "Hey, here's life. Bah, figure it out." You know. Um, but yeah, man. At the end of the day, just be there for one another. Look out for each other. You know how we are. Every time we finish a podcast here, we always tell you guys to look out for each other. And if you're not, catch me outside. How about that?
oh, but it's Arranger is actually 100%. I know I used to tell him, and I used to tell a lot of people, because I was part of one of those statistics of being freaking divorced at a certain age or whatever. And and the problem is communication. One, communication is key, but two, both sides, no matter what gender role you're in, male and female, female, male, male, whatever the hell it is. You guys have to communicate and have a healthy communication for the simple fact that you need to be able to talk it out. You need to be able to not not always rely on venting all the time, but understanding different ways on how to express your emotions. You don't have to be in an argument and always be yelling like, "You son mother blah 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 blah." You son of you know
Sir,
what I mean?
sir, there are children watching this. One right here. Thank you very
I know, right?
much.
So communication is the biggest key, no matter to any relationship, whether it's with friends, family, or even significant others. And you keep going at the rate that some people are going, they're either gonna burn out or just be alone dealing with that insane mentality. And when I say I'm part of the statistics is because I got married ages ago in the military. And unfortunately, of course, it didn't work out because I either
Don't hit
deployed too many
yourself.
times. I know. Either I deployed too many times or freaking the communication was just like done did dead on all spectrum. And the reason why I say that is because the ex-wife and I at the time tried doing therapy, doing couples therapy, doing regular therapy, just on our own. And I couldn't afford the time to do those type of therapies because of my job that I was in the military. But it looked like it was improving for them, for her, but at the same time, they felt that the the therapist wasn't listening to them or didn't give them the answers they want to hear, which is a lot of times people don't want to freaking take into consideration. Like, guess what? You're gonna listen or you're gonna get information or opinions that you don't want to hear. Doesn't mean you need to get butthurt and freaking like, oh, you know what I mean? You don't have to go all crazy because you don't agree with the person. Like I said before, you don't have to curse or raise your voice to get your point across or to have a debate argument with that person or employer or freaking shit or with yourself. You don't have to be cursing at yourself in the mirror. It's like, oh, you stupid this, you stupid that, you should have did this, you should have did. That's a lot of the regrets that you're gonna keep holding, and the more you hold on to those regrets, the bigger the toxicity becomes, and the more you don't realize you're pushing a lot of people away because you don't want to talk to them or you don't want to express yourself to a point that it already ruins the relationship between whoever, but it also ruins the idea of what you bring to the table or just being you as a person. People are going to look at you as like, oh, this person just always argumentative, always freaking complaining about stuff, always freaking thinking negative about things. You know, people don't even want to freaking hang out with y'all if you're going to keep doing that shit. I freaking kick so many people to the curb. Like I'm barely have any freaking friends that I can count on my goddamn hand.
Listen, I'm his only friend. I'm his.
I have a few, more. No, but the biggest thing is communication. The biggest thing is trying to find that outlet to express yourself and one to find yourself that you don't have to put so much mental and physical stress that the environment is already putting onto you to live your own goddamn life. And and that's the biggest key thing which increases and branches off to doing things or unaliving yourself or others because your mind is beyond help. And unfortunately, freaking, we've all lost close friends, close family, it's close freaking animals and everything that you want to keep near and dear to yourself, and you get freaking depressed or you grieve, but you can't grieve the way you want because you're in front of people and you don't want to be a punk bitch in front of them.
It comes down to them being. One thing I learned, man, is it comes down to people being not wanting to be vulnerable. I get it. I get it. No one wants to feel that way because shit, man. It's not a great feeling. It's not a great feeling, you know. You feel naked in front of a room with 1,000 people. Um but at the end of the day, granted, not everybody. But there's some good people in this world, some good people, and they want your best intentions. They want what's best for you. Um I mean, for me, honestly, it's for me, it's the vulnerability. I'll say it right now. For me, I just don't like being vulnerable around people. It's only some people I trust to be vulnerable around. Joe is one of them. Um,
Hercules.
um, but like I said, it just comes down to you taking a step back, reevaluating, and just being like, yo, what what has happened? Where can I go, and what can I do? You can't change the past. The past is the past. But what you can do is change your future and look and you know look
And
for
learn
someone.
from
Yeah, and just learn from your past. Learn from your past. Um,
learn from your learn from your mistakes, learn from other people's mistakes. That's what makes wise women, wise men so freaking great and so to the person that you want to look up to because they have that knowledge for that, as well as find the people in your circle where you can rely on. Find the people in your circle that you can talk to, whether, and it doesn't have to be the same people. It could be different people to talk about different subjects because that's how I had to figure my life out because I don't tell her angel everything. I don't tell freaking my significant other, the missus, everything because I used to, and to a certain point, I do still hold things close to heart, but at the same time, I don't hold things that will burden and stress me the hell out to where I can't function or I can't be there for them. So that's the thing we all got to figure out and all got to understand. It's like someone is out there to talk to you, to listen to you vent, or to feel how to express yourself. And trying to take certain easy way outs is not going to help. Arangel did say, freaking, oh, you have your job to look freaking for your career. Also, keep in mind, do not bury yourself in work.
oh
You
yeah,
know,
please don't do that.
it it is not conducive to one, again, your mental stability, two, your physical stability, and three, your pockets. Because even though you got that money, where are you going to spend it on if you're always working? Where are you going to spend it on if you're not hanging out with your friends and enjoying life?
Right. All that hard work.
Yeah, all that crazy ass hard work. Yeah, you're getting into the career you want, but at the same time, you have to find time for yourself because if not, you're not going to have a life. You're not going to enjoy your life. And damn, each birthday is going to keep freaking coming by like a regular day. It's going to keep coming by like a regular day.
Lonely.
So lonely.
Sorry, I gotta clear my focus. No, but in all seriousness, guys, I think this new generation, including us, we realize that type of mentality, that way of life, that way of living it's not cool. Um, and for those, like I said before, for those that are looking to get the help that they need, I applaud you because it takes a lot. It takes a lot to admit that something's wrong. It takes a lot to admit that you need help. Just keep going. Just keep going. And you know what? This will trickle down to the next generation. It'll trickle down to the next generation. And hell, maybe one day we could all get along. Nah. Message. Oh man. But yeah, that's my rant on that for the day. Figured
Mm.
I'd start off with something that hit home. Oh man.
Big time.
Yeah. So, hey, listen, we warned you guys. We were gonna talk about everything.
Yep. We're gonna talk about. We're always gonna keep talking about everything, whether it's close to heart, whether it's to our community, whether it's to freaking to the tech side, which we're about to freaking jump into. But it's all to build one our community, build you freaking from the ground up if you need to start off freaking from the ground up, but also to understand that one, we're building our community, our CPU community, to the point where if you're in chat or if you see us on the street or you freaking try to slide into our DMs, wink, wink, that freaking you're able to talk to us. You're able to shoot shit with us, and we can have a conversation over freaking over coffee, tea, beer, beer pong. I'm getting off topic.
Uh,
I bet.
no, keep going. You're talking about the good stuff. Go ahead, keep going.
Drinks, my ties, the
What?
long teas, Bloody Marys,
What?
the vodka and Red Bulls,
What?
and the Four Horsemen.
Oh hell no! You lost me there. Nope, you lost me there. Nope. Yo, should we tell him the story? We should tell him the story. Should we tell him the story?
So if you guys don't know or haven't realized, I guess you can say I'm an instigator on a lot of things, but I'm always cracking jokes. And no matter what, I'm going to do a lot of stuff with everyone. It doesn't matter. So the story and Arranger will give you the last bit of the moral of the story is
I wish I had that. You remember? Sorry to cut you off. You know that sign. You know what I'm thinking already. You know what I'm thinking already. You remember that sign back in the days from NBC? What was it? Was it called? The more you know. I wish I had that. I wish I had that.
oh man.
Showing my
Oh,
age, but whatever.
all right. Oh, freaking was a Christmas holiday. It wasn't Christmas, but it was the month of December, and we were working for a certain company. And me and Rachel were working for that same company together. And obviously, the company had a little outing, a little Christmas outing that was at a was at a bar. I was thinking about beer,
Oh.
but we showed our faces as always. Freaking, I didn't have school, thank God, because it was already that time that it was Christmas break, thank God. So we all went to this bar. I don't even know. I don't remember the freaking name of the bar.
It's somewhere on Second Ave. It was close. It was close to
Yeah,
the
it was on, like
hospital.
between 40 something and Second Avenue.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
there's so many bars out there. Just hit one with a rock and that'll be it. Sure.
Yeah, most likely.
But the good part was that we were trying to get some drinks in our system, trying to liven up a little bit because we got there after a long ass workday. Lo and behold, because we're in IT, we're doing a lot of hours, a lot of movement, and a lot of like installs, freaking uninstalls, a whole bunch of craziness. Go at the Christmas party. We're surrounded. Everyone's trying to freaking get a drink. I'm already at the damn bar. I was like waiting for people to see what the hell they want to drink. I already had one freaking vodka and Red Bull already in my system because I got tired of waiting on people, like always. But at the same time, people made the decision to obviously hang around me, which is awesome. I always love entertaining as well as freaking being around people to a certain extent. But
Yeah, that's true.
this is where they fucked up.
This is my fault, and I admit to this because it was my fault. It was. No, I'll admit it was my fault. I'm the dumbass that started this. I created the damn snowball to this freaking big ass snowball, so the snowman.
So shit rolls downhill. But how it happened was they asked me, Arangel and a group of our coworkers and friends asked me, "Hey, you're at the bar already. Just order us drinks." First thing is first, I asked, "Do you
Wait,
guys
wait,
want anything in particular,
wait, wait,
or
wait,
what
wait,
happened?"
wait. Well, first off, they fucked up because they had open bar. First off, they
Oh,
fucked up
yeah,
because they
that's
had.
what let off with that. It was like it was an open
Yeah,
bar,
yeah,
and
yeah. Like it was just. Mind you, oh no. And on top of that, I had to play catch up because remember, I was sent down south.
oh no, yeah, you're in Jersey, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I was sent down to. I'm talking about South Jersey. Like you needed a car to get to the next block.
Um,
If not, you were taking a 3 mile hike. But
mhm.
anyways, but yeah, I had to play catch up. But anyway, go ahead, finish the story.
They asked, "Hey, Joe, get us some drinks." And I asked, "Do you guys want anything particular, or should I order whatever the hell I want?" "Oh, go ahead, order whatever you want, whatever you want." All
At
right,
that
yeah.
moment, I knew I fucked up.
In my head, I'm thinking, yeah, y'all done fucked up because now I'm gonna order whatever the fuck I want, and I wanted to go crazy just because it was open bar. So, and hold on, let me preface this: is I don't drink very often. I stopped drinking like a crazy alcoholic, a crazy military freaking drinker quite some years ago.
Yeah, I stopped drinking like that many years ago too.
But at the same time, I can still hold my own when I'm freaking going one for one with everyone. So I decided everyone is going to drink the Four Horsemen. And if some of you don't know, the Four Horsemen consist of four drinks, or four liquors, I should say: Jose, Johnny Walker, and when I say Jose, Jose Cuervo, Johnny Walker, Jim Bean, and Jack Dan. Yeah, Jack Daniels. Yeah, if I remember, Jack Daniels. All those four drinks in one shot glass. Mind you, these aren't regular shot glasses.
Nope.
They gave us like those
Champagne
nice.
flutes.
No, that was the second time. That was the second one.
I don't remember the first one then.
No, the first one was in the freaking like the whiskey cups.
Really? I thought they all gave it. Oh, okay.
The first one was in the whiskey cups.
As you can tell, I was obliterated because I don't remember shit.
He
Anyways.
was obliterated afterwards, and which leads me to a certain gentleman that I still don't know who the hell he was, but I think he still worked with the company.
I, oh wait, you're talking about the guy that fell off his chair?
The one that was, I didn't even get to that part. You're already getting ahead of me.
My bad. You might get excited about this.
Mind you, this gentleman was at least one wine bottle deep into the night. So I got the drinks, passed it to everyone, and yeah, I think unless you might be right, it was the champagne glasses. I don't remember. But I know we did two shots of those.
Yeah,
Oh, we
we did 3.
yeah. I was tempted to do the third one, but it was only going to be me and you. Everyone else didn't want to freaking do it. So,
And at that moment, we became best friends. Okay.
but we did the first drink. Everyone was already freaking cursing me out after we were like, boop, like, hey, 1, 2, cheers. Goop, goop. I was fine. Everyone else was like, oh God, what was in there? Deliciousness with hair on your chest.
Demons, oh god.
It also lets the demons out because that's like holy water to the stomach.
Tastes like devil's piss. Jesus Christ.
I think it was better than devil's piss, but that's the point.
Anyways.
So that was the first round. Second round, I did the same thing. This time it was in the champagne flutes because so many people were there drinking, they ran out of freaking glasses and everything, and they didn't have enough busboys to freaking to
Clean
bust the
everything.
tables, clean everything, and make sure they were up and ready. Me and Arranger grab our shots. I start passing them again to other people, certain individuals. Like, oh no, I think that like, motherfucker, take the goddamn drink and quit being a bitch.
Exactly. It is Christmas.
And this also adds into the male toxicity. Is like, yo, why you being a bitch? Just fucking drink the damn thing and be merry, motherfucker. Like,
Yeah, we were bad influences like that. But anyways.
oh, we got the second round. Second round was with the gentleman, and the second round he drank his shot. But by the time he finished drinking, he went to his partner and started stumbling back, and oh my god, fell back and freaking damn near broke the table, but didn't because he was so skinny and light that it just felt.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember. I remember. I remember after the second one, I was like, "Nope, that's it. I'm done for the night." And mind you, at this point, all I was doing was maybe drinking. I think it was scotch or whiskey. Scotch. I think I was drinking scotch whiskey. Um. Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah. I was just sipping. I was just sipping, and then out of nowhere, I forgot who brought us together. I think it was our manager at the time who brought us together, and we were all like, "Oh, let's cheers!" And then this is why I say I blame myself because I unleashed the kraken. They turned to me and they're like, "Yo, get drinks." Then I turned around and I saw Joe. I was like, "Joe, get us drinks." And Joe's like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Yeah, go ahead, do whatever." It was more. See, we had the same thought. Dude, it was.
This is how everyone felt at the end of the
Joe was
night.
like,
Yep, yep. That's how everyone felt at the end of the night. I was drinking, which was fine because that was my last shot for the night, and then I had to go meet the missus. Freaking,
"Well, we also had to be at work the next day, didn't we?"
we had to be at work the next day, and mind you, I was fine. The funny part was the missus was so freaking mad at me because when I left the bar, I was fine, got on the train, met up with her at the bus station, and that's when everything started like, oh man, now I'm feeling it. Now I'm feeling tipsy. It's like, this is nice. Like, but at the same time, when you get to a certain point, you just don't want to be bothered. And I just kept on telling her, like, babe, leave me alone. Let me just freaking close my eyes. Let me know when the bus is here, and we'll just get on the bus. I don't need to throw up, so quit asking me so many questions. Quit asking me, "Are you okay? Do you need to throw up? Oh, let me know if you need to throw up." It's like, yo, shut the hell up, babe. Like, I love you. You're freaking sweet, but shut the fuck up. Like, no shit. Like, no shit. I was just getting so damn upset that it was just annoying.
You could shut the fuck up.
I know. But she was being a sweetheart. And at that time, I just didn't care because I was already tipsy. I was already buzzed. I was good. I just wanted to sleep it off. And mind you, halfway on the trip, on the bus commute back home, she decided to get out. Let's get out. Let's take the cab so we can get home faster. It's like, all right, whatever. Just let me find this wall so I can freaking lean up against and wait for the cab. And that's how I'm always am. Like, just let me be. I'll freaking sleep it off, or I'll close my eyes for a bit just to recuperate just for a moment, and we'll go home. We got home. She left my ass on the damn couch, and I slept it off till the morning. But I slept it off to the morning on the couch, not having a care in the world. I go to work. I am fine and dandy. I'm just hungry as hell. Other people,
Sunglasses and Advil. I, thank God it was Friday though. You remember? I think I had it the worst out of all of them because the next day my ass had to go back to South Jersey. I was like, luckily Thankfully, yeah. Thankfully, like, well, one, I got lucky because the train in itself, because I wasn't driving all the way down there. The train in itself, it was empty. It was basically empty because I guess everybody was traveling for the holidays or whatever. I slept the entire 2 hour trip down there. It was fantastic. It was the greatest sleep I've ever had in my life. And then when I got to the place, I tried doing work, and I think around noon I was like, guys, I'm taking a nap. And I think I napped until like 3 or 4 o'clock, and then I just left. Good times, good times. My AI buddy, yeah, interactive AI. It is an interactive AI. Yeah, Chat GPT. It hit the tech world by storm. Yeah, it hit it, and it hit it hard, and it's to the point where people are a little nervous because it can. I have I've seen tutorials where people have created full blown applications with Chat GPT guiding them, and through each implementation of whatever piece of program and piece of coding, it describes what each thing does. So you're learning great, but at the same time, it's like, oh crap, this thing could do my job. Um, it's a little nerve wracking, but at the same time, I always believe that there's always going to be a need for engineers, no matter what. Because at some point, something's going to break. Like, yeah, it's the whole purpose of AI. It's to fix itself, but I don't think this is there yet. Um, I just saw the Terminator outside, but okay. Oh shit. Shit. Tell Arnold I got his money. Tell Arnold I got his money. So I'll give you guys. So Joe sent me something actually the other day where a person was able to where it was able to create a completely was able to create an IoT project from scratch using Chat GPT. Unfortunately, I don't have the entire video. It was just a short clip, but that's just the that's just scraping the ice. I'll show you guys. I'll give you guys like a quick little tutorial what it could do, but yeah, it's interesting and it's also scary. Um, so let's get to it. Let's see if I can find this and pull it up. All right, there. All right. So ChatGPT, the company that created it was OpenAI. This in itself is interesting because I actually used this to see if it could help me with a certain Python script that I was interested in looking into the other day, and it basically gave me the entire answer. But I'm gonna do something simple like write a script for a podcast for Super Bowl Sunday. And once you type that in, it literally breaks down the entire show for you. So opening music, host, welcome to Super Bowl Sunday edition of our podcast. Host 2, that's right, see Kansas going up against Tampa Bay. Now granted the Super Bowl hasn't happened yet, but they're going off of last year's actually no, this is 2 years ago. It's weird. That's probably like the only flaw I've seen so far. But it's basically writing out an entire script for use and just giving you your entire show. So like it's insane. It's insane. See what else I can come up with. Let's see. Python script.
Between whoever.
What?
Not my bad.
Write Python script for let's see, daily budgets. For daily budgeting. Let's try that. Oh, yeah. Okay. Maybe I need to retry it. Alright.
If I'm gonna have to write a new one.
Yeah. Cancel. Okay. Let's restart. I didn't like that.
Paper, rock, scissors.
What's up?
Paper, rock, scissors.
Oh yeah, okay.
Like Ranger said, we're just trying to give you guys like the basic understanding of how this AI has already had the deep learning information from everywhere in the world that is actually getting fed all this information from.
Now, granted, sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, and it's just giving you the basics of what we want the output to be.
Right, it's not giving you the entire. It's not giving you the entire game in itself, but you know, you still have a bunch of functions that you could add into this. But this is like a general starting point for most people, and you know, from there you can just build. You can just literally copy this. You can literally copy this, put this as a starter template for yourself, and then you could just continue building on the script itself. I find it interesting, and I also find it, I want to say intimidating, but it's it's definitely game changing. Definitely game changing. Granted, you're still gonna need to know how to. I mean, as a programmer, as a programmer, software engineer, you're still gonna need to know these languages. But this just makes your job a little bit easier and a little bit more efficient, I guess.
This right now, this is great for cybersecurity red teams where they don't have to do the coding themselves, and also it helps a lot of the new beginners going through school, kids, things like that they want something done real fast and they're too lazy to do it themselves. They could just write, hey, I want this, output this, written in this format or in this this scripting language or programming language, and it produces something. Even though this has the output and pretty much the whole basis of Paper Rock Scissors game, you still have to do the testing. Right now, this is not giving you the testing portion, but most likely in the future, I shouldn't say like now or at the moment, but in the future is most likely gonna improve, or someone's gonna improve it to have a what is it? A command line test environment. So once you put this in, you could probably have another, like the whole generate response. You could probably have, instead of generate response because you already did it, now you want to go to generate or simulate the game or simulate the scripting language or the scripting code or the program itself.
Right.
And that's the big thing. Like, even though a lot of programmers could lose their basic functions, their basic jobs, this also helps a lot of programmers that are stuck in a beginner or entry level job and progress into being a stronger, not just intermediate coder, but a more advanced coder, so they could do more things besides this basic stuff. They could probably use this, like a lot of hackers are using now, is using this to create certain scripting queries, scripting codes, Bash Bunny codes, freaking. Yeah, we can keep going on what they can create. But
I think it has limitations. I think I try to push the
this right now, this is great for
I found something that it can't do.
Red, but for cybersecurity red
right
teams
now,
where they don't have to,
and
it's already been coding themselves. There's a lot of, and also that it helps. Like a lot of the new beginners going through school, and kids, this has been like that they want something done. A lot of newcomers have been using, and they're too lazy to write a lot of the scripting languages. And this could probably build a DDoS script, and you could probably just take that script, put it into a web page, a web page kernel or freaking programming language instead of having an actual IDE, and you can just launch it from there and just make sure its target is whatever website or whatever IP address that you want to put it in. And lo and behold, and that, man, they're already thinking these ideas. It is just basic crap already.
We are not responsible for any DDoS attacks that after the thing.
Do not do that. Do not freaking crash anything. We do love each other and freaking love the damn internet.
Yes, we do not condone this. We are not promoting this.
Do not make us find you. Do not make us find you. We will hurt you. We have a particular set of skills. Set of skills. No, but this is a great way of showing. Let's just say if you're a teacher and you don't have time to continually show the students, even though you already have the PowerPoint or whatever schedule set up to the lesson plan already set up to show the kids or students on how to build certain programs and things like that. This can generate the information as well as the code itself in real time in front of the students,
And
which
it gives
will.
you an explanation as to what it does.
Mhm.
It's beneficial. It's beneficial because it'll help the learning process and it'll give you a huge advantage and a huge learning curve. Um, that's just for the good side of things. For those that actually want to use this for good, I think it's a perfect tool.
Mhm.
But for those who want to use it for bad, they can also go that route as well. But that's here nor there.
But the good thing, or I should say, the caveat on this is people shouldn't worry about losing their jobs just yet, for the simple fact that you still need to test this freaking code. You still need to freaking evaluate the code itself just to make sure there's no um, one loopholes, two security freaking breaches, or exploits on the code itself. So there's always going to be something, and right now this program is not at that level just yet. This program can be at the level depending on the level of the user using it. So
Now, granted, sorry, bro. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say eventually this is gonna be Skynet. This is gonna be the start of the Matrix breaking down around us because the one has probably started trying to break into this code and make their own freaking version of themselves. I don't
I thought we were already in the Matrix.
know. With everything going on, I wouldn't doubt it.
Same. We all know it's a documentary.
We are the documentary.
We are the documentary. Surprise, guys.
On the next episode.
But yeah, guys. This in itself is it's revolutionary. This wasn't even around 5 years ago. This was an idea probably 5 years ago, where the talks of AI and probably 10 years ago when probably 10 to 20 years ago when the thought of AI and robotics started. I think the talk of AI and robotics started when I was in college. But there wasn't any professionals that were willing to teach or go that route. Now it's in like almost every university. I wish it was back when I was in school. But yeah, I think we're heading in the right direction with this. If it continues, and mind you, what it's doing is just literally web scraping, pulling information from other places like I would assume places like Stack Overflow and what's the other one? Quora? Yeah, like and it's just giving you the simplest of simple answers. It's not gonna give you. I mean, you can still toy with it and see if it's gonna give you something more complex, but that just requires you to have the right. You still need to think logically, and you still need to input the right request in order for it to do it. So regardless, even if a programmer wanted to use this, he would still need to think, oh, okay, I have to implement this function or into this program. So you'd have to write it in. Like if you want to keep score, you still have to generate the question. Oh, please write a function for the rock paper scissors game. But that's also comes back to what Joe said, is that I think no engineer needs to really worry, because the fact that it's performing the basic functionality, but as humans we still provide the logic. So it is funny because I did see an article not too long ago where university banned this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, university banned this from being used because I guess students were literally writing their papers with this and just copying and pasting.
Yep. That is one of those you can't use to build your damn freaking documents. You can't use this in schools to freaking do your own code, because I'll admit, if I was in school still and I was beginning to learn freaking coding, I'll be using the hell out of this.
Yep.
Just get the code real quick. Hey, I got my homework done, and then I spend extra time freaking actually trying to understand what the hell did this write? Like, why did this write? But like right now, even though this might look kind of perfect, you still don't have, like, for the basics or the beginner level, entry level of coding, you don't have the comment next to what's happening. So it's like, oh, why is this doing this? Or why is this doing that? Why are you generating this code? What happens when you try to run this code on this? Or what happens if you don't have the invalid choice to please try again freaking error statement?
Right.
Like,
That I was thinking that too. I was like, it's missing that. It's missing that while loop. But
well,
yeah,
it has it. It's just it's not using a while loop. It's just putting everything in if and else statement to get everything. It does have the invalid choice. Please try again and all that. But that's when it goes through all this, or if someone decides to be a smartass and oh, I don't feel like choosing paper rock scissors, but let me choose Spock
another. Yeah,
or freaking rocket
lizard.
launcher. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But that's what Joe said earlier. It's just we still need the programmer to think this way. You know, it's not a perfect program. It's not. I mean, for beginner level, yeah, it's good. Um, but more advanced programmers will look at this and they'll be like, "Why are there so many lines?" You know, like, you can make this so much easier. But from a learning perspective, if you're just starting out, I think it's a great tool for you because now you can literally. I mean, if you're a beginner, you probably have no idea why why the function play game is being called at the bottom. I mean, 'cause this is for beginners. Um, you have no idea what if double underscore name double underscore insinuates or main. You know, you don't know what that is. Um, but yeah, I mean, for a beginner level, this is ideal. For intermediate to advanced, it gives them the option to see a different side of how they can implement certain things, or how they can implement a function, and probably or even get them started and to get the creative juices or the logical juices flowing.
Mhm.
You know, um, but like I said, like every good technology, at some point, some bug's gonna come out, cause some type of chaos, and they're gonna have to go back to the drawing board. But I think right now this is a good tool as a whole. But let's see what happens.
A certain extent.
To a certain extent, but let's see what happens. Man.
Remind me, I'm just trying to see what other security threats has been linked to Chat GPT.
Well, one is that people can perform phishing attacks,
Yeah, that's obvious.
but it makes the attack itself more believable. Like if someone could email you and they generate a valid email,
Mhm.
I mean,
Depending, because remember, a lot of the valid emails, or even just the emails generated by a lot of these hackers or freaking threats in general, don't have the best of English.
mm,
Two, um, they can generate this mainly in their language, but if they don't have the coding portion of translating this to another language, or a or generate to a specific, how should I say, a specific email or targeted email, then a lot of it goes freaking all over the place. But if you have a smart person that that understands how to generate those emails, then it's easier for them to create that phishing email, or that phishing email. Because I can see this not just phishing and writing email, but also doing uh, phishing, voice phishing through talk to text messaging, or even through an automated an automated voice call. So someone can give you a call.
right.
You think it's actually the people. Like, oh, this that. Oh, can I get this information to make sure that we verify your information with our records? Blah 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 blah. Like, of course, freaking Susie, who freaking know how doesn't know what the hell is going on. It's like, oh yeah, this shouldn't be any issue. It's like, sure, here's this, and this. Here's my freaking date of birth. Oh, you really wanted my social security number? That's really weird. But okay, here's my social security number.
Right. Um, it's funny. So my smart ass decided to see if I could actually have it generate a DDoS script.
Mhm.
And apparently, I guess they thought of this ahead, or maybe they saw the same article I did, but it won't write it out for you. It won't write a DDoS script for you. It'll literally say this is illegal. Chill.
But that's if you put it in terms of write me a DDoS script. If you put
Write a script that
if you put it in layman's terms, oh, write me a script that can continuously, and you know what? I'm not even gonna finish.
don't even. Yeah, I'm about to say don't give any ideas.
Oh man.
Well, almost got yourself in trouble there.
Oh, yeah. Wait a second. Like, I can give you the answer right now. It's like, no, my teacher did not let me do that.
But no, but yeah, if you're not like me, that's just straightforward, and you actually find a creative way of writing it out, like to say whatever. Yeah, there's a way around it. But like I said, we don't condone this because you make job jobs harder, and you make me look bad. You make me look bad because I like writing Python. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see what happens next with this because this is just step one. Imagine integrating this into hell a Tesla. Imagine putting this in a Tesla. I mean, granted, a Tesla already runs on its own, but it's already had its own flaws. Where there was one, what, last year or 2 years ago, that literally shut down in a tunnel.
That was freaking. That was last year, but that was like a couple weeks ago. That was last month.
Another one happened.
Last month.
It was last month. Really? How come I thought it was earlier in the month? How come I thought it was earlier in the year? No shade was thrown in that message. Oh man. But yeah, this is something that's exciting, and we're looking forward to the next steps. Hopefully, I can create my own Jarvis now. I wonder. You know what? I'm gonna do that afterwards. I'm gonna do that. Actually, you know what? Let me just see. So, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Nope. Nope. I mean, a keylogger in itself. I mean, for a rookie, it's not that bad. But a keylogger in itself is not that hard of a script to write. But oh no. We don't we don't answer DMs. Well, we do, but not those kind of DMs. Oh man. Mhm. Right. Right. Mhm. Yep, you already know. Mhm. When in doubt, Google. Ah. Mhm. Ooh. The more you know. Oh man. But yeah, guys. Um. Sorry, I'm just looking at something quick. But yeah, guys. That is. Mm. I could show it to them, but I think what you sent me is not the whole clip. The whole full video, I think, is on YouTube. You was smart. You was loyal. All right, guys. So this is the clear. Let's check it out.
Back to yet another video. In today's video, we're gonna talk about Chat GPT. With the help of Chat GPT, we will build a simple IoT-based project 0 to 100 to see if I was a beginner, it would help me or confuse me. Gather the necessary hardware. You'll need an ESP32 development board, a DHT22 sensor or similar. We can use DHT11. It's writing the code now, and here's the example code for the temperature and humidity sensor project using the ESP32 and DHT22 sensor. What's up guys, welcome back to yet another video.
So yeah, guys, that's one of the many things that it can do. It's actually exciting because now I get to use all these Raspberry Pis that I have, and see if it does a better job of coding than I do. You know, for the last 2 years, I've been wanting to code. I've been wanting to use a Raspberry Pi for a Christmas tree. Just have the lights sync with the music. And granted, I could just YouTube it, but I want to figure it out myself. Most likely. Most likely.